Hello, everybody out there, and welcome to episode 18. That's right. I found out after doing the prequel. You guys already saw the prequel, probably thought it was the real episode. Nope. This is the official episode 18 for Anime Weekly. Like we mentioned before, Jeremy's back.
Hey guys, what's up?
You guys know I'm here. And we already did the news. We already talked about mangas and movies, reminisced about VHSs and whatnot. If you have no clue what I'm talking about, go check out the prequel. It was 30 minutes long, so that's why we decided to separate it from this week's episode.
We'll probably put a card or something up there if you guys haven't seen it, that you can just click that and go after the episode.
I'll put a link in the description below, as a matter of fact. There you go. I'll put a link in the description, or if Jeremy can come on, he'll put the card up also on the video. So, because I'm horrible at doing those. I suck at
I've just figured out how to do them, so don't worry. I got it. I can do it.
Thank you, Jeremy. So, we're not going into any news. We're not talking about anything. We're going straight into what this show is about, and that is anime. So, let's talk about the list of anime one more time for those of you that didn't see the prequel, so you guys will know what we are talking about this week. Jeremy started a new anime, which I probably will start up next week for next week's episode. I'll get through the episodes, but we've got Big Order episode 1 through 5. Jeremy's going to talk about the first 5 episodes, and hopefully by next week I'll be up to episode 6 with Jeremy. We've got Ace Attorney episode 7. We've got Dragon Ball Super episode 43.
Babysitting with Pan.
And Pan has, boy, wait till we get into Pan. Naruto Shippuden episode 460.
More Kaguya backstory.
Endride episode 6. ReZero episode 7, Stray Dogs episode 6, Kabaneri of the Iron Fortress episode 5, Kuromukuro episode 6, Cerberus episode 6, 100 episode 6, Assassination Classroom season 2 episode 18, as DN, our good friend, put it, the Civil
War episode.
Part 2 of the Civil War episode of Assassination Classroom. And then we concluded all with My Hero Academia, which, man, this is another
Bakugo versus Deku.
This is the manga. I forgot to mention that in the last part, the prequel. This is another manga series I want to play catch up with.
Taboo tattoo in the Barnes and Nobles when I go tomorrow. When I go tomorrow to get my comics, I'm gonna go to get my comics and stop by Barnes and Nobles after. If I don't see Taboo tattoo in the Barnes and Nobles, I'm definitely gonna pick up the My Hero Academia, Volume 1 at least.
All right, so let's waste no time and get into the anime. So, Jeremy, you are up. Tell us about Big...
Okay, so Big Order episode... Sorry, let me get this cough out of the way first.
Of course.
Okay. So Big Order episodes 1 through 5. So if you guys watch it, and if you guys search it on any of the anime sites, they might list it as Big Order and then Big Order TV. Big Order, just the regular Big Order, is an OVA, so it's kind of like a mini...
What does OVA stand for?
I think it's original video animation, I want to say.
Okay.
I'm correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, if you actually know the abbreviations for this stuff, but yeah. So it's an OVA, it's like a little mini movie, and it basically tells you the inciting incident of the series. So it helps you when you go into the series, but you don't necessarily need it. So I can pretty much tell you guys what happens. So if you want to watch the anime yourself, this is all spoilers. So kind of just fast forward through this. I'm sure since we got the program up, Chris can put a timestamp or whatever.
I do timestamps. I am doing the timestamps again, everybody, for all the shows. So if you don't want to hear about Big Order, you can skip to the timestamp where Ace Attorney begins, which I'll have a timestamp for it when we start talking about it.
Okay, so here we go. So Big Order is essentially a show about this guy, Edgy, and Edgy. Okay, so this world have these things called orders, and orders are these beings that grant people's one wish.
Okay, so we're already kind of like Divine Gate.
Yeah, and when they grant your wish, they give you an ability based on your wish. I'll get into Edgy's ability like towards the end of the beginning explanation. But as an example, one of the girls that is kind of into Edgy, but her goal is to kill him. Her ability actually is her wit because she made a wish when she was caught in this fire when her house was on fire because of the whole world destroying inciting incident. She was caught in this fire and she made a wish not she doesn't want to die. I don't want to die. And so the order came and granted her wish, and now she has basically a Wolverine style healing factor, so she's immortal.
So now she can't die and she's immortal.
Yeah, so she can regenerate pretty much
So
from anything.
she's stuck. So basically, she can never die.
Yeah,
Wow, could you imagine that? No matter what, you can never die.
yeah,
And live forever.
and she regenerates from pretty much anything, so she can't be killed whatsoever. But she also can't die, so that's kind of a double-edged sword type of deal. So anyway, yeah. So like these only certain people can only certain people only orders only appear in front of certain people, and the orders grant their wish and they get their abilities and stuff. So basically, what happened was when Edgy was a little child, Edgy has a younger sister who's very sick and all that stuff. She has kind of an incurable disease. They didn't say specifically if it's cancer, but I'm assuming it's cancer. And so
Ding!
we have Edgy, and he basically he watches this TV show as a kid with this where the bad guy wants to rule the world and form a peaceful world in its place and under its control. So Edgy's wish is to rule the world, and his wish is actually when his order is summoned, his order is so powerful that its power destroys the world pretty much, and so and his memory is wiped a little bit at first. He doesn't know that it was his order that started this whole thing. But then when one of the orders comes and actually tells him about it, she actually tells him like what happened, but she actually limits his power to 1/1000th of its actual ability.
So he's basically hindered right now.
No, but it's still pretty freaking powerful. Trust me.
So
But
could you imagine if he had no hindrance?
yeah, exactly. So everything you see him do in this anime, that's only 1/1000th of his true power.
So I'm confused. Is he a good guy?
He's a good guy. He wants to save people and do everything right. It's just like the way he worded his wish
Made it look like he's he's
Yeah.
kind of like a Quarto Sensei. He did
Everybody thought that his plan was to destroy the world, but honestly, he just wanted to make a peaceful world, and he thought his way of doing it was ruling it so that he could control what goes on and all that stuff.
Oh, I gotta watch this now.
And so basically, what his ability is, right? It's called domination, and so what happens is when he activates his order, he can basically command the order to do anything, and whatever is in his domain is under his control. So he can basically say, like, order, control gravity, and gravity around the area will be controlled under his control. And, like, he can control people within his domain, and they're under his control permanently until he releases them.
So it's like a Charles Xavier.
Yeah, basically. Okay, and so the main girl that's after him, I believe her name is Amelia or something, and she blames him for her parents' death because her parents die in this explosion that happened to her house because of like his wish and all that. So her main goal is to kill Edgy and his sister or whatever. So Edgy actually puts a permanent order on her that he's never allowed to leave her side, that she's never allowed to leave his side, and he's not allowed to kill him or his sister. So and
she's like his second in command then.
Yeah, it's kind of cool because like her symbol of domination is actually like a wedding ring, but it's like in chains.
Oh wow!
And so it's cool. She actually starts to fall for him within the next subsequent episodes, and actually right now she's captured. I'll get to that in a second. But essentially what happens is, right, we find out that the orders are kind of like they're leading like their own separate nation, and they want to make Edgy their king, and they basically want to take over the world so that orders won't have to hide anymore, and they won't have to be discriminated against, and they can live in peace. And so this organization called the Great Ten is basically using Edgy as a tool and a figurehead to kind of lead their revolution. And that's basically the whole premise of the story. Each of the Great Ten have their own special abilities. Like the main dude in charge, he can pretty much stop time, and it's pretty
Chaos control.
yeah, it's pretty legit. It is actually chaos control. That's literally what I thought of when I first saw it. But it's pretty legit. Like I said, Emmy can't die. There's this chick that can predict the future, and she also kind of gets into edgy. It's pretty cool. I really like it. And when you actually see the stuff this dude can do, you're like, holy crap, this is kind of a broken power. But it actually does have its limits. And again, it's only at 1/1000th of its true strength.
That's crazy. I gotta watch this.
Yeah.
Where does episode 5 end? Let's have at least this week's episode.
So episode 5 ends with no, Rin is the girl's name. Not why did I thought Amelia because of 100, but Rin is the girl's name. Rin is the girl's name. So Rin is captured by this assassin guy, whose ability is also very similar to Edgy's, where he can influence people, and he has Rin under his control, and he basically has Rin trying to kill Edgy. When in the beginning of the episode, they were actually starting to really get along. They were going on dates, and they were like, buying food and having a good time.
So now she's basically against him again.
Yeah, she was having a change of heart, but then all of a sudden, when this dude controlled her, he's like, don't forget your wish. Your wish is to avenge your parents. Your wish is to kill Hoshima Edgy. And then she goes at, she starts going after Edgy again, and you can tell Edgy is starting to reciprocate those feelings because they're like, we got to get out of here, man. This is the one guy that we were sent to go after, but none of us could take him down on our own. It's like, you don't understand. Rin is captured. We have to save Rin. We have to save Rin. And and he sees that there are glimpses of her real self in there, so he's gonna definitely try and save her. And it's really cool. I'm really excited. I want to see what goes down. Literally, the episode before this most recent one, this guy took down an entire nuke.
Well, I gotta see
this. It's freaking crazy, dude. It's awesome. I love it.
Gotcha.
It's one of my it's definitely up there. It's like right behind Academia as my favorite anime of the season so far.
All right, so I gotta check this out. So let's get into the anime that we both watched this week. Let's start with Ace Attorney episode.
Objection.
Inai! Not objection. Inai! Episode 7. That got you really quiet. So I was like, dead air. So this was part 2 to the Willpower's trial. So this time, I forgot her name. What was her name that went to the stand?
Are you talking about the psychic girl?
No, the girl,
wait.
the head of the studio.
Oh, crap.
Whatever her name was, she was on the stand as a witness. And he starts drilling her on. He thinks she's the one that killed the guy that was murdered. And Edgeworth finally notices, hey, wait a minute. And he starts to question the woman as well.
Yep.
And they start to double team her until they kind of hit a stalemate until something hits Phoenix Wright. And he throws that at her. And in the end, she concedes, and we find out how and why, or basically the situation where the person died. And
I always love the moment in these episodes when everything clicks and they're just like,
it's the best part. Getting arrested, Willpower ends up released. A new series comes out of the studio because they're not under that woman's head anymore. And I love how my brother's girlfriend mentioned that Edgeworth and Phoenix Wright were friends, and I'm like, they're not friends. They're like rivals in the anime. She's like, well, they become friends because Phoenix Wright in the game ends up defending Edgeworth when he gets into trouble, and then when they showed the coming attraction,
yeah,
that's what's next. So I'm like, oh, she ruined it for me 1 week early. 1 week early, she ruined it. So I like this episode. What about you, Jeremy?
Oh yeah, it was definitely, like I said, this isn't like a mind-blowing anime. This is basically our weekly dose of Law and Order.
Yeah.
It's like I said, my favorite part is always when everything clicks and they're just like, now I've got you, you mother.
The children, beep.
Oh man.
Mother, beep.
But That's essentially what happens. They don't say it in the subs, but that's what happens.
Yep. I like it because it's like you said, it's Law and Order. You know, you're in the courtroom with Phoenix Wright, and as he's going over the clues and as he's trying to examine it, and when he realizes something, sometimes I'll notice I'm a step ahead of him with certain clues, and then other times when new clues become available, like when that security woman gave him that picture.
Yep.
So it's like it's a fun mystery all the way through till
Yeah,
the end.
and I always love the pacing of each episode because I love playing along and finding the clues with him, and then noticing the different ticks of the people in the courtroom. So you're like, wait a minute, why did you do this instead of this?
Exactly, and that's why I really enjoy Phoenix Wright a lot. I thought time was going to be involved again because there was a timestamp on a few things, but this time around they didn't really play it like they did with the woman who died's case with the statue with the time. All right, so let's go into Dragon Ball Super 43, and
Yep.
I like this episode too. This was the Pan babysitting episode.
Yep. And honestly, Piccolo is like the best grandpa ever. Let's be real. Goku isn't really the grandpa for Pan. Piccolo is the real grandpa because when he went in on Chi Chi, he's like, make sure she brushes her teeth, make sure she reads her books, make sure you feed her this, this, and this. She can't have this. She has to be fed at this time and this time.
Yeah, are you surprised Gohan and Piccolo were like this?
Well,
And
yeah, but I'm saying Piccolo is Gohan's real dad.
yes, because think about it. Dragon Ball, the Saiyan arc, he died. He died after Raditz, came back, died after Frieza, came back, died after Cell, came back as a ghost, brought back to life, and then leaves to train Oob.
Yep.
The man is never around.
Piccolo is Gohan's real dad because Piccolo raised Gohan from age 3.
Yes, sir, he did.
He trained Gohan how to fight in that forest, and ever since then, they've just been like that. Piccolo sacrificed his life multiple times for Gohan.
Think about the Cell Saga. Remember when he said, "Mr. Piccolo, could you make me?"
Yeah, clothes that look like you. I was like, yeah, see, that's the whole point. And that's why I wanted this little moment. You know, when Pan called Goku Grandpa, I wanted her to say Grandpa to Piccolo too. I was like, Piccolo's your grandpa too, Pan.
But you got to think, Piccolo and Goku are best friends also.
Yeah.
Oh, Goku's abilities are getting weak.
I like that little tie-in that he was sick because of the strain on his body with the Kaioken Super Saiyan Blue thing.
Oh, but when he showed up in Bulma's bedroom and Vegeta came in,
that was hilarious. That was hilarious because you see all those missiles and shit, and it's just like, what is Vegeta into in the bedroom? Like, what the hell?
And then he's like, I didn't come in here to see your sagging boobs. And then he's like, Kakarot! And he just disappears.
I mean, Vegeta's into some kinky shit if he involves missiles and machine guns and I don't know.
Maybe it's a failsafe for Bulma in case Vegeta gets a little too violent.
Maybe. Who knows?
That was hilarious. That scene made that episode for me. So
yeah.
Goku has to relax. He can't fight. He can't really go all out because his body has to heal because he pushed himself too far with the Kaioken, which sucks.
And so he has to babysit Pan, and they end up losing Pan, as you do in an episode of Dragon Ball Z. And so she ends up in space. Oh, Super, right? I don't know how to say Z. But yeah, anyway, she ends up in space. She ends up in Pilaf's ship, and she ends up taking a poop on the ship. Well, she ends up pooping her diaper.
I'm glad they brought Pilaf back. I didn't want them to get rid of him. I like that he's a factor into this series.
Yeah, I thought it was hilarious, and I love that she has a little bit of her dad in her. So that, when she got agitated or whatever, she ended up flying, and then she's busted through the ship, just like in the Raditz saga when Gohan got pissed off and he blew through the ship.
Mm-hmm.
That was it. Reminded me a lot of that.
She might have some unlock, and I love how Goku. See, there were two things said in this episode that one I don't want to happen because they mentioned it, and another I do. King Kai told Goku he might never be able to fight again if he keeps pushing himself.
See, I think that's BS because we know Goku's the main character. There's no way Goku will never stop fighting.
But the second thing was he told Pan, one day you're going to be a Super Saiyan, and I'm like, oh.
I want to see a female Super Saiyan so bad. That's something I've wanted to see for years. And
Could you imagine,
they
baby
kept
Pan?
man, they kept teasing it in GT too. So I'm like, come on, Pan, come on. You can redeem yourself in this one. You were annoying as hell in GT, but let's see if you're better in Super. Like let Grandpa Piccolo train you. You're gonna be a badass more so than your father because your father is a disappointment.
Man, you really are hating on Goku tonight. Maybe that guy was right. Maybe you do hate Dragon Ball Z.
Listen, man, I'm just angry that my favorite character in this damn show is
It's not even in it, yeah.
he's reduced to a shadow of his former self, trying to look for a job, but then he doesn't even end up getting a job because he's like, I want to stay with my family, even though I can't protect my family because I'm a weak ass son of.
Well, they might fix it now. Maybe that's why he's staying home.
He needs to look. He needs to just be like, Dad, I'm weak. I need help. I need help.
Go to Piccolo.
Because what kind of protector are you, man? If you gotta just hide behind your dad the whole time, and you gotta rely on your dad to protect your family. It's your family, dude. You gotta step up. Gohan, you used to be so badass. When Trunks sees you in the future, he's gonna cry.
All right, I'm going to save Jeremy on this rant, and we're going to go into Naruto Shippuden. So let's go into Naruto Shippuden, where I know Jeremy won't want to kill somebody. We got Kagura's.
Yeah, this was pretty interesting stuff. We get to we get to see Kaguya and
Hey,
stuff.
before we get into the origin this week, last week's episode, though, we got to see Naruto and Sasuke fighting Kagura. What'd you
Yep.
think of the fight really quickly?
It was pretty epic. I love because it's weird because in the manga I didn't really care about the fight in the manga because you don't really get to see it as well. You know what I mean? Because it's kind of just stagnant because you're just looking at pages.
Yeah.
Well, when you see animated and you see all the different transitions to places and you get to see how fluid the fight is, it's pretty freaking epic.
Which that made that episode for me. But then we got into this episode, which is the Kagura um, backstory.
Yeah, it's the backstory, and it was a little bit weird because I was like, wait, so she's an alien? I didn't know. That's
How I took it
that's
too.
what I took from it because she's like landed from a meteor, so I'm like, she's an alien. Then?
But so
Like,
did the trees. The trees came first from space, and then she came later on.
so I'm guessing all ninja are descended from aliens then. So I guess that's how that works.
Well, if you looked at it during that time, it looked like rural Japan era, where there was no
Yeah, because
chakra.
I mean, like she's the mother of all ninja, so all ninja are technically descended from her, so that
Right,
technically means
she was the creator of chakra.
yeah, so that technically means ninja are descended from aliens. It's kind of cool though when you think about it.
Unless she's a god, and she descended from the
Oh
heavens.
yeah, she could be a god. I mean, they refer to her as the rabbit goddess, so I mean, she could be a goddess. I don't know, but from the whole sky thing, it seemed like an alien to me because I got like a Superman type of deal vibe with the meteor crashing down and everything.
But I found this boring a little bit because it's like this was like
I mean, yeah, because nothing exciting happened. I mean,
exactly.
like people betrayed her husband and tried to attack her and stuff, and then her friend got murdered in front of her.
And she did the
She ate the fruit. Yeah, she ate the chakra fruit, and then she got the shining gun in the middle of her forehead, which I thought was cool.
and then she opened up whatever is going on in Naruto right now, where
Yep.
it encased all of the.
Yeah, with the infinite Tsukuyomi and everything. Yeah, that's pretty interesting. And then it'll go. I guess next episode will be where she teaches her children about chakra and all that stuff, and it shows her
They
going.
betray her. Eventually, they
Yeah,
betray her, and that's
because after biting into the fruit, she goes nuts. Like you can see she wasn't crazy beforehand. She just wanted to live a normal life. But then but once she bites that fruit, she goes nuts.
Mm-hmm. So we're gonna get like a 2 to 3 part.
Yeah, just like her descent into madness type of thing, and then her fighting her children and her children betraying her because Naruto and Sasuke are like the reincarnations of her children.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why when she saw them, she cried a little bit, and she was like, Indra, Ashra, that time.
So hopefully when we get out of this, though, we'll get the final fight already. I mean, I want to get through this. I want to see Sasuke versus Naruto for the last time.
Hey, you think you're complaining? You haven't been waiting over
2 years?
yeah, over 2 years. And well, if you want to really count the beginning of Naruto started when I over 10 years ago, when I was in the sixth grade was when Naruto
Why
officially
did they
started.
change? Do you know why they changed the title to Shippuden?
Well, Shippuden is because that's part two. It's part two of Naruto because there's Naruto when he's a kid, and
Right.
after the time skip, it's Shippuden where he's older. So it basically divides into parts.
Basically, just showing Naruto's the early child days.
Yeah.
Shippuden, he's a
An
young
adult.
adult.
Yeah, young adult. Yeah, so there's Naruto part one, which is just Naruto, and Naruto Shippuden, which is part two. Well, what everybody classifies as part two, where he's an adult, and that basically is all the way up to when the series ends is Shippuden.
Shippuden is a lot longer than the child.
Well, yeah, because because the tail end of Naruto part one is mostly all filler because they built up because technically it ends with Sasuke leaving the village, and then the rest of that is filler. There are 200 plus episodes of filler after Sasuke leaves the village, and then Shippuden starts with them finding Sasuke again.
So basically, you're saying the last season is basically all filler.
Yep.
Because I know there's 4 seasons to Naruto, and I'm thinking that season 3 is where he's going to leave the village.
Yeah, once Sasuke leaves the village is when the actual part one actually ends. Because the manga says, at the end of it, the end, and then to be continued in Naruto Shippuden, which is technically just Naruto Volume 26.
2. Yeah, which is Naruto 2.
Yeah, because it's just like with the Dragon Ball novel, the Dragon Ball manga. After a certain volume number, they start calling the story Z.
Right. Okay. So it's just the next step.
Yeah, because just I forget what number Dragon Ball volume, but whatever number volume the Dragon Ball in Dragon Ball where the last Budokai tournament takes place. After that, that's where Z starts, and they just start calling the story Z from then on, just like how it was Naruto Shippuden and Naruto Z, Naruto and then Naruto Shippuden. It's just like Dragon Ball with Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, and then Dragon Ball Super.
Right, because GT
Basically,
officially
just the subtitle. It's just like the subtitle changes after every part.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay, I understand now. Because I really am enjoying Shippuden. I just didn't understand why they threw that name, and I thought there was a purpose to it. But when you explain it like Dragon Ball, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
I
mean, and it also matches the theme because I think Shippuden means hurricane or something, and Naruto has wind chakra abilities, so it fits the.
I'm sure that Shippuden opened up with them trying to find Sasuke.
Yeah. They do find Sasuke in the first episode, and then Sasuke's like, "Fuck you guys."
He's like, "Boop, you guys."
Yep.
I'm going home.
Yep. Pretty much, because that's just how Sasuke is up until the very end of the episode of the series.
Gotcha. All right, so let's do Endride because we've been talking about this for a while now, and Endride episode 6. This was more of they've made it to a major city, which is also a dock.
It's kind of it's like if you ever played an RPG game before, it's just like a checkpoint.
Yeah, because I feel like this episode nothing really happened much. There was stuff, but not much. Like they made it to the town. They had to buy warmer clothes because where they were going was going to be very cold. The scientist ended up leaving to go back to the castle, so we won't see him again. He's going to be taken prisoner probably, and then they're going to have to save him. We get introduced to a new character, and we get introduced to how assassins are made in Endora. And it's dark shit. That was disgustingly dark. I mean, that poor little girl.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. That's some intense shit right there.
But then the leader of the group saves her. I forgot his name again. God.
Crap. You're talking about the guy with the dragon sword, right?
Yeah. Not Shun, not Emilio, the leader of the Paladins.
Oh crap. I can't remember his name either.
Well, he frees her and he's like, "You have the ability to choose. You're free now." He saves her from the collar, which is basically her stone, her
Yep.
warp stone, and she doesn't know what to do from there. So he's like, "Come with us. Come, let your journey begin with us." And her mission was to kill the prince, was to kill Emilio, and now she's free of that. And it's like the question is, who sent her? Why did they send her? And now that she's part of the group, because this group is growing and growing,
It's
what's
probably,
next?
I bet you the assassins are under the king's orders or something. 'Cause it has to be the king who's trying to, assassinate his son and possibly his nephew. I keep saying Shun and Emilio have to be related somehow.
Oh yeah, they definitely do, and I like how Alicia is so awesome in this series. She had all that money, remember?
Yep.
And Emilio was broke, and he's the prince.
I thought that was hilarious.
He's
'Cause-
like, "What? You have no money? Where's your money?"
And he's used to such a fancy life and everything too.
Would you like a cough drop?
I would, but I don't. Sadly, I don't have any here.
Ah, poopa. All right, do you have anything you'd like to add? Because Endride, I feel like that's really all we can
Yeah,
say.
yeah. It's not much happened. Like I said, it's pretty much just a checkpoint.
Exactly, in the series. All right, so with that, then let's go into what do you call it? The ReZero. Now, last week, episode 6, I just want your reaction. Tell me you didn't know that it was going to be one of the two maids that was killing him.
I kind of figured it was one of the maids because, like, like in those cliche mystery novels, it's always either the maid or the butler that did it. I didn't see the butler. The butler didn't seem that suspicious, so I figured it was one of the maids. Especially because he made friends with one of them in one of the past
Well,
days.
both of them. He made friends with Remy first, and then died, and then he made friends with the other girl, Ren and Remy. I forgot their names. Rem was one of them. She's the one that wanted to kill him.
Yep. She's the one that also went on the date with him, right? Like, or like he.
Yeah, she went
No,
shopping.
he spent. Yeah, yeah,
She
yeah.
went shopping with him. The other girl taught him to read and write. So he woke up this episode knowing that Rem is going to kill him. But this time he tries to tell Emilia that he keeps dying over and over again, and then the curse stops him. He literally almost has a heart attack because he almost told her. So apparently,
Yeah, you can't tell anybody that you have this ability.
or you die, and then you relive the day again over. So I guess no matter what, you're stuck. So he stays in bed, and then he makes Beatrice promise to protect him because the little cat that she calls Buddy shows concern for him, for Subaru. So she's like, I promise I do you a favor because I kicked you out and I kind of threw you off, so I owe you. And he's like, promise you'll protect me past the fourth night. And she does.
Yep.
But in return, Rem dies. So because she didn't
Yeah,
kill
that
Subaru,
was.
she died.
I thought that was cool because, like, I think because it's kind of the rules with time travel. If
Oh no,
one
I
thing
thought it was
doesn't
the rule of
happen,
alchemy.
well, yeah, kind of. But I was thinking like with like how Legends of Tomorrow explains time travel, or like how the Flash explains time travel. If you change one thing, something like of equal of equal value or even worse will happen in its place.
Right. And that's why Rem might have died. Because if you remember, the girl that kept killing Subaru in the first day, in the end, she met her end by the night.
Yep.
So maybe somebody does have to die in order for Subaru to
To
survive
stay
the next
alive,
day.
yeah. And then
That-
eventually they'll probably come down to him and Beatrice, and then he'll probably sacrifice himself.
yeah, but a big fight breaks out, and in the end, he has to basically commit suicide to redo the day because I love it because it shows how selfless he is. He says, I love all of you, and I don't want you to kill each other, I don't want you to hurt each other, and I don't want your sister to die.
Yeah, I thought that was cool. And because I knew like the suicide rule, like I figured he'd probably figure out a way to do suicide in a legit way, like because like that was the one thing I brought up in the beginning of the series. Like if would you we posed that question, like would you purposely commit suicide to get a do over on like certain days?
Hmm.
And he
And I
actually
would
does
do
do
it.
it.
I would not do it. Nope. I could not hurt myself. Nope. I wouldn't do it. I feel like if I've done something, that's it. It's in stone, unless I get a time machine or a DeLorean where I can warn myself.
Yep. Okay. But yeah, it was still a really good episode. I enjoyed it.
I really enjoyed it too. Again, this is one of those series where you can't fully. You have to watch it to truly get the
I
full.
have to watch ReZero twice. Like that's one of the things because I watch it once to see what happens, and then I watch it a second time to pay more attention to catch more of the clues.
Yeah, the little clues that happen in each episode. Yeah, exactly. Because there's little hints dropped here, there, and everywhere. If you pay attention, you see it. I watch it once and I pray to God I caught most of it. I can't do it more than once. My brain can't wrap around stuff like that. So, all right, let's get into something that we can wrap around a little bit more, which is Stray Dogs, episode number 6.
Yep.
You go ahead and you can explain this one, Jeremy.
All right, so we just it's kind of more just learning more about the cast and what's the one guy that like it focuses more on the one dude.
Yeah, with his book and how he has this book that
Yeah.
basically depicts his life.
Yeah, the writer guy. What's his name?
Konosuke, it starts with a K.
But yeah, it focuses more on him, and I like that this series is like we get to see bits of the cast more and more, so we learn more about the different members of this organization, and we get more attached. But you know how anime works: the more you get attached to people, the more likely it is they're gonna die.
I like this also because it seems like all right, there's another case that opens up in this episode, and again it's connected to the Port Mafia. So they catch the guy who's the culprit, but he's not doing it because he's the bad guy. He's doing it because he's being forced to do it, and he said he'll admit to doing it only if he gets witness protection because the Port Mafia is involved, and they show up and they try to kill the guy.
Yep.
Luckily they don't, but a fight between the guy that works for the Port Mafia and this guy breaks out. It's crazy, crazy stuff that happens in this story.
I just love it whenever we get to see the main character go all were-tiger. Like
Yep.
that's badass stuff right there.
But we haven't seen it in the past couple of episodes.
Yeah.
We'll see it soon.
Yeah, hopefully.
But I enjoy this. It's something different. It's like Law and Order, but without the court part. This is like the stuff outside of the court
Where they're chasing the bad guys down.
Exactly. So if you watch Stray Dogs and then Ace Attorney, you have the outside part and then you have the inside part of the court.
Yep.
And Stray Dogs involves magic too, which makes it even better. So it's
I'm gonna start watching it in that order now. Like I'm gonna watch Stray Dogs and then watch Ace Attorney.
Because it's crazy, right? How connected they can be, right?
That theme was, yeah.
But I like it. I like the characters. I like how they're developing, and I love how what's his name, Daisy, ends up eating that mushroom, thinking it's poisonous, but instead he just gets really, really high.
Yeah, like tripping.
He's tripping out like crazy at the beginning of the episode, and then the other guy just starts beating the crap out of him.
Yep.
Oh man, that's just so fun.
I mean, he is really I'll give him this. He's really determined to die.
Yeah, I've got to give him the credit there for that one. All right, so let's get into Kabaneri of the Iron Fortress.
I was getting a real Resident Evil vibe from this episode.
Me too, right? I was too. I feel like this one, it's like they're going into this town. It was obviously destroyed by something. They find some survivors that tell them about a black smoke that overran the city. Now the train track has debris on it, so they have to clear it out. And we also find out that girl, Mume, she's part of something else. And this other guy warns her that if she doesn't do what the young master, whoever that is, wishes, that she's in jeopardy of being killed. And that kind of changes her whole personality to like completely cold again.
Yeah, it's an interesting twist. I wonder what exactly her mission is.
And what her purpose? Well, her purpose is to get rid of all the Kaban.
Yep.
So they go into the city. They have a good plan, but she decides I'm going to go in and destroy the Kaban nest because there's a nest there apparently, and that stirs up everything, and all hell breaks loose before the end of the episode.
Yeah, it was pretty action packed towards the end there.
What did you think about the very end where it turned out it was all these Kabans that actually came together to form this gigantic Kaban monster? So even if you do blow
I
it up,
thought that
it's
was
like a million
I thought
bodies.
that was a cool. I thought that was like a cool, almost Voltron type moment.
It was crazy, and now this episode ends on such a horrible cliffhanger.
Yep. It's definitely you're kind of scared for where your characters are going to end up this next episode.
Yeah, I like it. And I have to agree with you. It's my Attack on Titan / Walking Dead / Resident Evil fix.
Yep.
So, anything you'd like to add about that episode?
No, that's pretty much it. Like I definitely like this. It's weird. It has a zombie vibe, but it's not necessarily zombies. And
Hmm.
it also has this like weird insect thing, and I don't deal with bugs, so yeah.
Well, there's no bugs in this, so you're safe.
I mean, they kind of have like an insect type of vibe to them, like the
In
Kabans.
what?
They
Not
kind of do.
really. Not really. Where do you see the insect part?
With like with the whole shell thing, and like you know what I mean, like
Oh, around their heart, you mean the
yeah.
casing? It's okay. I understand what you mean now. Okay, I thought you meant their bodies. I'm
Oh
like,
no no no! They don't have like wings or anything like. I'm saying like they have kind of like a bug type of vibe with like all like with like the exoskeleton type of deal they got going on.
yeah, true, true. I could agree with that. I'll agree with you on that one.
But
That's
it also adds to like the creep factor, which I think like enhances the anime a bit.
and it also enhances the threat factor because now only specialized weapons can break through their suit.
Yeah, or
Their skin
or or like a Kabaneri.
or a Kabaneri, right? Which they can be bit multiple times and they'll never get infected because they're already infected. It just prevents they just cannot fully become infected.
Yep.
Which I like. I like Ikoma also. I like how he invented the gun that basically allows them to pierce through Cabaneri, and he also invents a sword based off of the shell around the heart.
Yeah, I thought that was cool.
That was really awesome. All right, Kuromukuro episode number 6. This was very good. This was Gundam Wing without any of the politics.
Yep.
This was a straight up.
It was just basically a giant robot fight. Well, giant robot versus alien robots.
Hmm. And that was the whole episode, was them fighting each other. The two from the UN, the other two Gosses, ended up jumping in to save the day because I forgot his name. Ken and the girl ended up kind of in a very precarious situation.
Yep.
And then they kind of evened the odds out, which was really cool. But then we found out that the robots from space aren't just robots. There are people inside.
Yeah, it was kind of like a Matrix thing, like where it's like people are like the batteries to these robots.
Yep. But it turns out that Kenosuke might actually be
One of those aliens, yeah, like he's a rogue alien.
who decided to defend humans instead of destroying them.
Yeah, which I thought was cool.
I thought
That's always an interesting twist when like you're going against your people to defend another race.
Hmm. And I think that really builds on the character. It builds on the mystery, and I'm looking forward to more robot like Gundam.
I like the girl's reaction to it too when she finds out. That was pretty cool.
Hmm. But they got away just in time because they kind of did a Predator ending where, because the robot was taking down the alien robot, it explodes in a gigantic like atomic bomb,
Yeah, that was a cool scene.
and that was the end.
You gotta love the animation for this show.
Absolutely, I think it's really great.
Like mecha animes, for the most part, have either like decent to okay animation, but this is really good.
This is like 3D regular anime and a little bit of like movie style anime mixed into
Yeah.
one. All right, you want to take Cerberus episode number 6?
Oh, this is more just like another one of those stop by a town episodes. Like, not much happens here, for real. Well, what would you say, like, were some of, like,
Are
I
you sure
don't,
we're on the same episode? This episode was where Hero got abducted by. You might be on the next episode.
maybe I did
You
watch
know
them,
where?
maybe I watched the next one on accident. Crap.
Yeah, because this one in 100 go to episode 7 early. Remember?
Oh, yeah, right. Oh,
So
okay, so what happened this episode?
this episode Hero got abducted by that guy. I forgot his name. The leader, the guy, the merchant, the big merchant guy.
Oh, okay.
And he
Yeah.
wants to know what Hero's relationship to Dargan Zot is.
The dragon, yep.
And we find out more of a mystery with Sarato, that she's something that scientist, instead of
Created.
killing her, he released her, and now she is something else, and we don't know what that is. But he ends
Oh.
up rescuing Hero also and telling him to keep her safe. So I'm really excited to see what Sarato's big mystery behind her is.
That is pretty interesting. Because I mean, it might even be. I think it's connected to the dragon somehow. Like I think he's also trying to figure out if like other people can establish the same kind of connection that Hero has.
Maybe, or maybe she's connected to another demon.
Maybe that could also be a possibility.
I hope she's not a robot. My one hope is she's not a robot, and if she is a robot, she's kind of like the girl that was in.
I don't know. This kind of has more of a medieval feel to it than a futuristic feel. So I don't think she'll be a robot.
True, very true. So she could be somebody else. We'll have to wait and find out.
Yeah.
But I like this episode. It was really straightforward. You know, Hero gets abducted, he gets saved, and they run away.
Yeah.
To be continued in Jeremy's next episode, where apparently they go into a town.
Yeah, I don't know why. Like I forgot new episodes come out Mondays and not Sunday. I for some reason this throws me off.
I know this 100, and if you're not fast enough, Stray Dogs. It throws me off sometimes, so I have to actually go into the anime category before I click the new episode to make sure that it's the new one for this week and not the new one for the following week's review.
Yeah.
I think at some point, Jeremy and I are going to get fed up with it, and since we do our reviews on Monday, we're just going to throw in Monday's episode one week.
Yeah, probably.
Just like, screw it, we're going to do it. We're going to do it this way.
Probably. I mean, it's right. I mean, it's right there. It's right there.
Yeah. Oh, 100 torments me because after this episode of Anime Weekly, the first show I want to watch is 100.
Yeah, I do that all the time. 100 is always the first show I watch.
Yep. Followed by Cerberus, which is next, and then I think all the other shows kind of trickle out throughout the week.
Yep. Most of them are either Saturday or Sunday.
I'd like to think half of them are Saturday, Sunday, the other half are all throughout the week, which I like because we get half of the anime out of the way before the weekend comes in, and then we watch the other half.
Yep.
All right, so 100 now. Make sure, Jeremy, it's episode 6. Well, you just said you're going to watch it after this. So 100 episode 6. The final part to the girl who's the singer, whose name is...
Yeah, the pop star chick. The pop star chick who we find out is also a 100 user.
Yep, we found that out last episode. Which, by the way, what did you think of last week's episode of 100? I know 100 was big last week. Because this girl now is another girl that falls in love with...
She's probably my favorite out of the love interests. Like, I love Claire, but I think the pop star is probably my favorite out of the love interests. So
nope, I'm still with Emile. Yeah.
I like Emmy, but I don't know. I'm still either I don't know. Maybe because Emmy is the obvious choice, I gotta go with either Claire or the pop star chick.
What's the guy's name? I keep forgetting.
It's his last name starts with a K. Hayato is his name. Hayato is his first name. It's like Kusaragi is his last name.
Right, but it's Hayato that they call him.
Hayato.
But I love how in this episode he ends up saving the girl, and then Emile shows up, and she kind of gets in between them and goes,
Yeah.
This is why you left me. Don't make me kill you. And then when she gets the scissors and puts it right up against his throat, and she's like, so what exactly were you doing? He's like, nothing. I was just protecting you.
No, my favorite part is the end, where just all three, where Claire, Emmy, and the pop star
Well,
king just.
let's get to that. I'll let you talk about that, but let's get to that. So we find out that there's another group of hunters. They're poachers. They actually steal the
Yeah,
core.
and they sell the bodies of like
The core. No, the cores. They take the cores out of the savages because they make their. You can make your own makeshift 100.
yeah,
With
just
the
like a bootleg 100.
And they have their own bootleg 100s, and it's very hard for Hayato and the others to fight them because they're pretty strong. And I think
It's kind of like in Luck and Logic when you bond with like a foreigner, like one of the stronger evil foreigners, and you don't and like you're kind of corrupted by them, but you're also made like really really strong.
I believe that that's it. I believe they're all corrupted because they're not legit hundreds. They're all kind of corrupted or made by a savage core. I agree with you. And I think they're going to be a major problem later on in the series.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So now, after saving the pop star, we get to see your concert. I thought that the reason they were showing the concert is because the poachers were going to come back and try to steal her. But apparently not. And
I wonder if all concerts in Japan are like that, because that looked fun. That looks like a fun time.
I know, right? And I love that last song, which was the song that Hayato and his sister heard, and basically
she basically kind of dedicated it to him.
And I love how she kind of is questioning if the reason why people love her music is because she's a variant, and her voice forces people to love her. And Hayato's like, no, that's not true because we loved your singing before you became a variant. And she's like, I'm falling even more in love with you. And he's like, gay. I wonder if he's gay. Because every girl
He's
that
not.
loves him,
He definitely is not.
I know, but at the same time, every time a girl tells him that she likes him.
Look. As someone with 5,000 girlfriends, let me explain something to you. You can't just openly be like, yeah, all right, because if your other girlfriends hear about this, you're in trouble. So you got to be very hesitant when other girls just admit that they're in love with you. Okay, you gotta.
You must be so happy that your real girlfriend doesn't watch these shows. You would be dead.
I would be. She would probably beat me to death with her Harley Quinn hammer. But
what's her name on Facebook?
No, I'm not telling you shit, okay? Because I know you're going to send her a link to this. I'm going to be in trouble.
No, I would never. I'll be honest with you. Even if I knew her on Scout's Honor, even though I was never a scout, I would never. Because then this is over. Yep. Think about it. This show would be over then. No, I wouldn't want to do that. That puts me and this show in jeopardy. Why would I want to do that?
No, but still, I'm not disclosing any information on Girl 0001.
No, you can disclose 0002 all the way to 5,000. You can disclose some to me.
But it's a tough. He has to play it off like he's not interested. But I'm telling you, like
he's loving it on the inside.
He's definitely on the inside, just like yes, yeah.
So now we can get to the last scene that you were talking about, where the girl flies off. The pop singer flies off. However,
so Claire and Emmy show up.
And the pop singer's in the room already.
And they end up fighting. They all end up fighting over like Hayato. This dude is like the luckiest man.
And he yells at all of them to get out. And they're like, no.
Oh my god, it's so funny. I mean, technically he can't kick Emmy out because it's Emmy's room too.
True.
But he can kick. And Claire's the president. She can do whatever she wants.
She popped out of his freaking closet, dude.
I mean, at least she wasn't hiding under the bed.
That would have been freaky.
Because I could have told. That's what I was thinking at first. I'm like, she's got to be hiding under the bed.
I knew that Claire was gonna walk in. It was just a matter of when. And then when M walked in, I was like, oh.
I'm surprised that there was no boob groping this episode.
He kept his variant in check, I think, for this episode. That's why.
I mean, that's one way of putting it. Kept it in his pants.
He was just so tired. I mean, could you imagine waking up to three? Well, yes, you can, but three girls fighting over you at once?
Man, that's gotta be a rough day.
I don't know, Jeremy. Is it a rough day?
I'm not saying nothing. You're already getting me in trouble this episode, man.
I just see you sinking on your camera again, like now all you are is a head again.
Just because you didn't see nothing, you didn't hear nothing. All right. If anybody who's watching this actually knows me and my girlfriend, do not say nothing.
Oh, please don't say anything. I don't want this show to end.
None of this. It was her birthday yesterday. It was actually her
Oh, happy
birthday
birthday!
yesterday. So I'm not trying to piss nobody off right now. It was just her birthday. I'm not trying to make her angry. I don't want to deal with She-Hulk. I really don't.
But what about the 4,999 other girls?
Look, man, I'm not starting a civil war. All right, it's a dangerous situation I don't want to be a part of.
All right, so let's talk about, I didn't realize it, but I just gave a perfect segue into the Assassination Classroom Season 2, Episode 18.
Which is as DNGN said, the Civil War episode, or part 2, I guess, of the Civil War episode.
So we could talk about the whole thing. You could start it off with last week's episode, and then we could both talk about this week. So it's people who want to kill
Koro-sensei and people who want to save Koro-sensei. Because, I mean, because when you think about, because, people still want the money, they want to, and they want to still save the Earth, because, he's still going to, at the end of the day, if they don't kill him, he's going to, end up blowing up the Earth. So they're thinking of it in, in more of a practical way. And then the other half of the class was like, but he's been such a good teacher to us, he's helped us out so much, and he's such a nice guy. We have to at least see if there's a way to save him. If we don't have to kill him, we shouldn't.
Right.
And so, some of them are still trying to go about their ways trying to kill him, and there are others that want to figure out a way to cure him. And in this week's episode, they're trying to formulate a way to go to the moon, so that they can get some samples of the parts that are were blown off or whatever.
Yeah, America was trying to find a way to cure the oh god, what was it? The cell degeneration or the whatever is.
It was the antimatter stuff.
Yeah, the antimatter explosion thing. Yeah, they were trying to find a way to prevent it.
Yep.
But I like the Civil War part because Karma and
Nagisa,
both of them are the top assassins in that class, and I think deep down all of us wanted to see them go at each other to see who would win in a fight.
I already knew, because Nagisa is...
I knew too.
Nagisa is the GOAT. He is the greatest of all time. He is the GOAT.
Yeah, so I knew Nagisa was going to win, but it was going to be interesting to see. I thought that Nagisa was going to win, but they were going to decide that they have to kill him because there's no way to cure him.
Yep. I was hoping that Nagisa would win, and they'd be like, look, we got to work together, which is kind of what happened. But you know what I mean? There's still kind of that tension in the background.
I like how the argument started. They became enemies. This week's episode, it went and examined their friendship from when they were kids.
Yep. All
the way through to now, and then at the end of the fight, after he won, they both became friends again.
Which is, it was kind of a Tony Cap situation almost.
Yeah, basically, except they made up.
Yep.
In person.
Yeah, instead of just sending a Stan Lee to deliver you a burner phone.
Yep, exactly. with the Tony Stank.
Tony Stank.
Oh man, that movie was so good, but that's a topic for another time. But
yep.
I enjoyed this week's Assassination Classroom. And I appreciated that they ended the Civil War, they did the credits, and then after the credits...
This is actually the last chapter I read in the manga with Nagisa.
Really?
With Nagisa versus Karma.
So how many chapters were left when you stopped?
8.
So we have potentially another 8 episodes.
What episode? This is 17, right? So
Yeah. No, this was 18. Episode 18.
okay, so I mean, it should end around 24. So maybe it was less than 8 chapters that I stopped at.
If it ends at 24, we have 6 more weeks.
Yep. So yeah, probably. So that I guess it would be like 6 chapters.
Yeah, because they're going into February.
Yep.
This next episode will be the end of January, and then we go into February, and he's supposed to die in March. So yeah, there's only about 6 more episodes.
Yep. Okay, cool. So yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at.
Okay.
My friend tried to spoil the ending for me when he found out I didn't finish it, and I'm like, shut up, you're not saying nothing to
Don't
me.
you dare! If anybody should be allowed to spoil it, it should be me. I'm the one that read the whole freaking ending, and I've been good for 2 months already. I haven't told you Jack. If I didn't tell you Jack, and I'm sitting here with you every week talking about Assassination Classroom, knowing in my head what's gonna happen in the end.
Yep.
Nobody better tell you, or I'm gonna show up with the Harley Quinn hammer, and I'm gonna bash them over the skull, and then I'm gonna borrow a few girls of yours, and then your girlfriend number 0001 won't be so upset.
Okay. I'll hold you to that, but I'll
I'll have you know, mine doesn't watch this show either.
even though she's in the house while we're recording this.
No, she is in a different part of this house, so she doesn't hear anything.
Okay.
Oh, but she knows about the 5,000 girlfriend joke anyway, so
See? Okay. All right. So that's safe.
yeah, that's safe. So, My Hero Academia, episode number 7. Holy crap, man, this series just keeps getting better and better.
Deku versus Bakugo. Dude, I mean, the beginning of the episode, I will admit, it was kind of slow. Like, you know, because it showed a little bit, like, a lot of those flashbacks.
When they were kids and how they grew up.
It gave me a little bit of a Naruto feel, because I was like, flashbacks.
Yeah, but I liked it because it explained why Kachan did not like Izuku, because he fell off of a bridge. Izuku jumped down to save him, to be the nice person.
Yep.
And he took it up as a, excuse me? I'm the best there is. Why are you...
You think I can't save myself? I'm the shit. Like, he has that kind of attitude about himself all the time.
Mm-hmm. And now Kachan is actually angrier because Izuku has a quirk, and he thought Izuku was hiding it for so long.
Yep. I also liked, I hate the guy with the glasses. I hate him so much. I hate him so much because he was like, I'm gonna do whatever it takes to be a hero, even if I have to be a villain. I'm like, shut up. All right, you need to sit down. Go sit somewhere.
I loved how he tried to be a villain so hard.
If anyone's going to be a villain, it's going to be Bakugo. Bakugo is the closest we get to... I have a feeling he's going to end up becoming a villain by the end of the series. Yeah, Bakugo. Yeah, Bakugo.
Yeah, he definitely has that potential. Absolutely.
I definitely see it. But I also really liked how Deku worked together with Ochiko to not take out Bakugo, but to win the challenge.
And I love how he used... Finally, the Detroit Smash. Detroit Smash. I was like, yes.
That was pretty awesome. But yeah, I like how he realizes, hey, I can't beat Bakugo yet, but I can at least win the rub it in his face.
Exactly.
And he's developed a lot. He started out as this like sniveling little baby, but now he's standing up for himself.
Which I love that.
Defending his friends, and he's like, look, I have a quirk. You have to deal with it. Whatever. Like we used to be friends, man. But if you want to be like this.
But All Might says that Bakugo has potential. He's not completely gone yet.
Yeah.
I'm say that, so it's a possibility.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, it got to the point where like Bakugo like was literally about to kill Deku. Like All Might was about to blow that whistle.
He was 3 times in the episode. He was like.
But Deku got it. He got it. He can handle himself. I was proud of him.
He continues to surprise All Might, and I think that's good because He's got the brains, and now he's slowly getting the quirk.
And that's the thing. That's the thing that I like about Deku versus most other shonen protagonists. If you notice about shonen protagonists, all shonen protagonists are idiots.
Yep.
Goku's an idiot. Luffy's an idiot. Naruto's an idiot.
He's not so much an idiot as he got older, Naruto.
Naruto's still an idiot. Naruto's still an idiot. If you don't realize that Hinata's in love with you, you're an idiot. Like, this woman was stalking him on a regular basis. He's an idiot.
Alright, guys, so that was this week's... I'm not going into idiots. That was this week's Anime Weekly with the idiots and everything in check. So, so if you have anything you'd like to talk about with any of the animes you mentioned here, feel free to comment below your thoughts.
Also, let me know if you guys check out Big Order, because I would like to. I want to know what you guys think if my pitch sold anybody on it, even though I pretty much spoiled the hell out of those 5 episodes.
Doesn't matter. It's only 5 episodes out of about anywhere.
Probably 12 to 20.
So, if you got into it because of Jeremy, if you got into any of the animes we mentioned because of an anime we reviewed here, let us know in the comments below any recommendations you guys have. But I am warning you, we are at 13 shows right now. I don't think we can take any more recommendations for now. Maybe later or for consideration, but not right now. So, also remember, if you'd like to see the collision of Anime Weekly and Media Madness, Anime Madness.
Hashtag Anime Madness, guys. And also, don't forget to check out the Prequel show where we just covered all the news. We talked about the One Piece movie trailer. I showed off some of my Assassination Classroom mangas, and we talked about some Viz Media news and stuff like that. So definitely check out the Prequel episode if you want to get the full Anime Weekly experience for this week.
And speaking of Viz Media, don't forget that the Dragon Ball Z full color Frieza Saga Volume 1 came out this month, so go grab that. Assassination Classroom Season 1 Part 1 is coming out soon. I'm getting the collector's edition. And Sailor Moon Crystal was announced to be coming out in August. So if you're a Sailor Moon Crystal fan, I know Serenity, I know you're watching this. You're going to be flipping out when you see this collector's edition. I thought it was amazing.
Ricky's probably going to get it.
That's right. So, Serenity, let us know in the comments below what you think of that. I want to know what you think of that collector's edition because I think it's amazing.
It looks pretty. I'm
not a super epic Sailor Moon fan, but I thought it looked pretty sweet.
It looks pretty epic, and I'm only a casual Sailor Moon fan. Even though I love Jupiter to death, I will get all the Jupiter merchandise everywhere. I
will say my girlfriend 0001 threatened to kill me if we don't get the collector's edition of Sailor Moon Crystal. So it's safe to assume that will be the next thing that we get.
All right. Nice.
Till next time, guys, ComicFrontline.com. We are your #1 source for comic-related news, reviews, and a whole bunch more, as you guys see here. If you're not subscribed to the YouTube channel, maybe you want to consider it so you will not miss out on a single video. We post videos daily. Live show every Tuesday, Anime Weekly also every Tuesday, but this week it's a day late because of time crunching, things needing to be done.
And personal life and all that stuff. You know, life happens.
Oh yes, it happens. But at least when we moved this show to Frontline, it stayed on a Tuesday schedule for the first couple episodes at least. So yes, next week it'll be back to Tuesday.
And hopefully, unless some big family stuff happens, you won't have to just see an audio episode all that often. I won't leave Chris stranded hanging by himself.
Thank you! It's so hard to discuss anime alone! Alright guys, so till next time, take care, keep reading, keep collecting.
And enjoy your anime.
And we will see you guys next week for another Anime Weekly. Episode 20 is 2 weeks away!
Yep. Hashtag Anime Madness. Remember.
Hashtag Anime Madness. We're coming for you, Cat and Jay.